Welcome to another edition of AI Impact and Strategy. Today we're going to be talking to Yves Caseau, who is the Chief Digital and Information Officer at Michelin, the French tire company that was established way back in 1889. Michelin has revenues of about 30 billion and profits of about 3.5 billion euros. So a giant corporation with lots of opportunities to apply AI. And that's what I wanted to learn about from Yves. I've known Yves for quite a long time, and he's probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. He was recently elected to be a member of the prestigious French Academy of Engineering, and he's written at least 4 books that I know about, probably some others as well. In this interview, which lasted quite a while, Yves shares many, many use cases that he has developed with his team for AI in Michelin. In fact, about 12 use cases. And as you'll see, he can list them all off the top of his head with very, very little prompting from me. It's a fascinating story, and I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. Now, Yves and I talked for over an hour, which means that there's enough content here for at least 3 videos. So this is part 1 of 2 or 3 or 4. Look for the others to come along very soon.
So, as you know, Langdon, I'm Yves Caseau. I work for Michelin. I'm the CDIO, so in charge of digital and information system. I've been CDIO now for 7 years, and I joined after a number of other companies. I worked in the telcos. I worked for AXA for a short while. And I joined Michelin with the hope of participating to the adventure of digital manufacturing, which I was right to anticipate, to complete the brief overview. So, as you know, I have different hats. I was a teacher in the past in different places, and I started teaching algorithms at Jussieu a long time ago. Then I moved to information systems at Polytechnique. And I was elected at the Academy of Engineering, which is the equivalent of the US National Academy of Engineering. So it's a
Bravo,
smaller
congratulations, that's great.
And this is actually the place where I exercise, or I work with colleagues, my interest with climate and energy models. So that's something I do with my academic hat. AI at Michelin has grown very fast. We've been using AI on R&D for a long time in manufacturing, but it's of, I would say, good old-fashioned AI. Started to use machine vision a couple of years ago. So mostly quality control, taking pictures of tires and including through X-rays and detecting if everything is okay. Now we are playing with Gen AI, as everybody. And for instance, for manufacturing, we're using Gen AI to help the maintenance workers to have faster and better access to information about similar cases. My main goal is really to modernize our IT and digital landscape. That's what we've been doing for the past 7 years. And we've made lots of progress in terms of quality of service and speed at which we can change our systems. The challenges of the moment are really around data. So we have this data-driven ambition at Michelin, which is, as many other companies, to take a better and faster decision thanks to AI.
Can you tell us in a little more detail about how you're using AI today? And also, I'm very interested in how you think you're going to be using it in the coming years. The background to that question is that we realize that whatever AI is today is going to evolve very rapidly. So we have a bit of a model of what we think is going to happen. I'm interested to see what you think is going to happen.
So you're absolutely right. It's going to evolve fast. I'll start with this obvious statement that we are a software-driven company. We are not a software company. We do actually sell a little bit of software, but mostly we sell tires, 90% of our turnover, and a little bit of services around tire and also new materials. But you take a Michelin tire next to a Bridgestone tire or Continental tire. What differentiates us from our competitors is really driven by software. Software all along the value chain. The first biggest usage of AI at Michelin is really in the R&D department, using AI to accelerate simulation. So we do a lot of finite event simulation, physical simulation, a little bit also of chemistry simulation, all kind of, I would say, classical engineering and physics type of stuff, except that we find that we can use AI to accelerate, to anticipate. So instead of exploring all a large number of configuration. You can use AI as an oracle, use machine learning, and the machine learning will tell you, oh, those 2 or 3 models should be interesting. Those 5 are probably of lesser value, and you use this to guide, and that accelerates AI. This is a crude example. We have to give you a more interesting example. We use 3D modeling to generate lots of data. So we create a digital twin, let's say, for instance, of a mixer. So when you build a tire, you mix lots of compounds, and you use first physical simulation to generate data, and then you use AI to optimize the mixing algorithms, continuous processes. So that works pretty well. That is something that is interesting because it's a mix. We need the physics and the measures to build the first model. So you cannot start from purely digital, but once you have the physical model, the digital expands it. You can generate much more data, and then your optimal control algorithm becomes much more precise and more robust. Because then the second part of the value chain where we're using AI a lot is manufacturing, and this is really where we're creating a lot of value. Some of it is classical statistical machine learning. So you do a lot of measures, and you're trying to find patterns, and you have alerts that tell you that, oh, maybe this machine is not working as it should. So we do that to optimize predictive maintenance. We use that to better tune. We have lots of processes where you try to fine tune the processes to reduce the waste of raw materials, and that is it's a big win. We are saving tens of millions of dollars every year because of this. The beauty of this, it's not all based on engineering specialists. It's also something that is driven by citizen development. That is, we give to lots of people, thousands of people or tens of thousands of people in the factories, lots of tools to monitor their flows of electricity, of raw materials, and to build smart alerting, and that also works very well. And as I was saying, for manufacturing, a big application of AI is machine vision. So you put cameras everywhere, and the fun part is we have been putting cameras everywhere for a long time at Michelin, but they were expensive, and the software that would do the image analysis were very expensive. So we had few. It was very, very specialized. In 10 years, I think the number of cameras have been multiplied by 100, because now you can put GoPros everywhere, and they work very well. We do not only use cheap and simple cameras. We have fancy machines that use 2D and 3D cameras and X-ray cameras. So we have a wide range, but machine vision is something that we do a lot at Michelin, and that is saving us time and money. We are using deep learning together with reinforcement learning to fine-tune the automatic control of adaptive processes. So remember, making a tire is like baking a cake. It's not like pastry. So you have Thermomix. You mix everything. You do lots of layers. Before it's cooked, a tire looks like a big cake with lots of layers and all kinds. We have 200 compounds. And in the past, most of our raw materials came from petrochemistry. Because of that, they have very stable physical and chemical characteristics. As we are moving towards more and more natural biosource material or recycled materials, today in a Michelin tire, 28% of the materials are either coming from natural sources or recycling, and we want to move to 40% in probably less than 10 years. So we are, and to adapt to those new materials, you need to fine-tune your processes. And here AI plays a key role. So as I said, I will not tell you how much money we are saving with this, because we are playing with this. We're just discovering that if we want to be the first manufacturer that has all sustainable tires, we need to master this use of AI for continuous process adaptation. So it's very strategic for us. we are using AI a lot for supply chain. You will find good old-fashioned AI like improving your routes, your for maritime transportation with ships, containers, or better, putting as many tires as possible in the container. So classical operation stuff, research stuff like this that I was doing 30 years ago. But we are also now using deep learning to detect bottlenecks, to find that is, it's interesting because here you're using AI to detect that for some geography of the world and some type of tires, we may have a shortage. We don't know exactly why. So it's you're using AI to predict that the fact that you should be taking a closer look. It's not a causal model. You don't know exactly, but you train your neural nets to say, in the past, when you have the combination of all these factors, it seems to create a havoc. It's very similar. There was a study which is reported by Buzan for um, airline transportation, and they found that they could train neural nets to discover congestions in airports. And congestions in airports is a non-linear phenomena. You cannot predict or you cannot model this, but you can very well train your neural net to say, oh, you should take a close look at that situation. It looks like it's going to be difficult, and that works pretty well. So that's something that is working. Then we're using AI, I think, as everybody else, to improve our digital manufacturing, marketing processes. Either B2C or B2B2C or B2B, all kind of customers. And we are using AI, as I said, to develop services around tires. So Michelin, we sell tires to fleets, and we sell fleet management software to fleets that are equipped with connected tires that have the ability to control the pressure in real time. We also put connected devices in trucks and in trailers to know what is happening with the trucks. And here you're using machine learning and classical AI to gain insights. To give you a very practical example, the bigger tires we sell are the mining tires. Some of them, they weigh like 5 tons. So those are expensive, big monsters. They have built-in sensors. That is, we monitor the temperature and the pressure in real time. And here we use plenty of data. So we use AI to generate, to make sure that we use the tires to the best of their abilities and replace them whenever is necessary, because zero downtime is the first value that a mining company expects from their trucks.
That's a lot. You remember it all. You have it all organized in your head. That's very impressive.
Yes. This is, I would say, AI as of last year, which is a combination of things that have been around for 10 years and things which have picked up speed the last 2-3 years. So what's new? What are the big things that we see coming? Digital twin. We will do more digital twin in the future. This mixing AI and simulation, I think we are going to use this more and more for supply chain, because COVID, war in Ukraine, the Houthis, all those, what happened in Shanghai in the strikes. We have events with the strikes all the time. You cannot foresee them, but you can simulate. So I would say similar. One big thing is simulation. The second big thing is really using Gen AI to help you retrieve information faster. So what is called under the name RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, and for us it's the killing app of LLM. We do use LLM to generate content, to generate websites. We're not a content company, so it's nice. It's helping us. Maybe we save it. We generate better text or even some images, but we're not the big users. There are companies that are making much bigger use. However, we are an IP company. When my CEO talks about Michelin, he says we are a deep tech company. The reason we are good at what we do is our knowledge of chemistry, actually the way the rubber and metal bond together in the tire. So we protect our IP very much so, but we also try to learn from others. We are not an island. We are trying to, and you've noticed if you looked around the DeepMind articles in Nature or what the rest of the world is getting lots of excitement about how to use Gen AI as a research companion. It's not as a smart AI that will invent the new formulation. It's a tool to explore faster possible new compounds, new formulations, new materials, new recipes to produce existing materials. So if I look, let's say 3 years from now and say, where do we would put big hopes? Number one, helping us to innovate faster. Number two, tire manufacturing is very sophisticated, which is you might think it's a simple object. No, it's a complex object. When it's cooked, it becomes fairly stable, but before it's cooked, you have multiple layers. It's viscoelastic material, so it's tricky. And there is a lot of knowledge. We have accumulated, decades of knowledge on how to well manufacture a tire, and we find that today we create networks of experts, and they are the bottleneck. They are the bottleneck for scaling, for trying a new recipe. We found that when we stopped all our factories for COVID and we resumed, it was the first time that we were restarting the factories with new digital processes. It helped a lot. But still, it's the old-fashioned digital information with SharePoints, with lots of data. It's digitalized, but it's old-fashioned digital know-how. You let large language model and hybrid methods help you find the proper information faster. You go faster. You train your teams faster. You react faster. So it's one of the big hope. The other big hope that we have, and I own, that's the one I own as the CIO, is using Gen AI for generating code. We are producing more and more software at Michelin, and we are also in a moment where the economy is not doing very well. It's not very doing well at all for the automotive industry, as we all know. It's not. So it's good for mining, but it's good for aviation, airlines. But so for Michelin, it's not too bad, but it's not too great either. So when I discuss with my bosses, we say, okay, we need to produce more software, but we don't want our IT and software budget to go through the roof. So we definitely need to leverage. It's the right moment to leverage new technologies and Gen AI. So I would say Gen AI for us, it's inventing new things, making sure that everything that is known at Michelin is available to everybody, and creating a new software. Those are my top 3 priorities.
What do you think about AI agents? Are you using them now, or are you expecting to use them?
Interesting question. For me, an AI agent is like a cooking recipe. That is, you say you take this type of LLM, this type of prompting, this type of external sources, and this type of RAG algorithm, which can be very straightforward, or maybe you're going to use ontologies and knowledge graphs, so use something more fancy. So we are trying to build LLM platforms that offer RAG and agents as a service. So now, where do I see agents? We find that when we want to produce user assistant, like the chatbots of tomorrow, we have launched a few chatbots at Michelin on the website that help you find a tire in UK, in Mexico, in India. They are still reasonably primitive. They're doing a good job, but so it's direct application of, we say, OpenAI capabilities. We think that if you want to have a true dialogue, you need agents. You need to speak not to one bot, but to a society of mind, a community of agents. And depending on who you are, where you are in your customer journey, you will have a first agent that will welcome you, an agent that will be very good about telling you what are the benefits of a Michelin tire, an agent which is very good at closing a sale because maybe you're in a rush, you have a puncture, you don't want to learn anything about tires, you want to get it solved quickly. So agents makes a lot of sense to have multiple personalities. The other place where we believe we will need agents is really to go further with automation of our everyday life. But it's the beginning for us. So if you ask me, are you going to play with agents and develop agent capabilities? Yes. If you ask me, do you think you're going to win a lot of money and how many million are you going to serve? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. So we are saving like 50 million this year with our AI use case. So it's a good amount of money. We believe that as manufacturing use cases grow, we'll go to 500. So it's significant. Maybe along that way, we'll find that Gen AI will help us invent totally new categories of products. So maybe it will grow. But we know we move as we learn as we go.
So how long will it take to get to 500 million, do you think?
We said before 230, so 5 more years.
So how many people now are AI experts in the organization who are doing all of this work?
So we have like 100 people in India that form what we call a center of expertise. So people that are really, they have a deep background, they have lots of expertise. Many of them, they are PhDs, computer vision. And then because we have a hub and spoke architecture, we have AI teams a little bit everywhere at Michelin, and we have the hub. Found that we didn't have enough money or there are not enough talent for us to have center of experiences everywhere. But I would say you have probably 200 other people, mostly R&D, manufacturing, service and solution, even our own team for advanced solution digital. So I would say you have 100 people that are concentrated, and you have smaller teams varying between 10 to 30 that are spread out both around the globe and in different departments of Michelin. That's altogether, it's a couple of hundred of people, practical experts. They have built many systems, they have experience, they have done AI before. And
To get to the 500 million, how many more people are you going to have to train?
that's a very good question. I think we would have to double that size. That is, so the good news, it's not proportional. That is we don't have to do times 10. The beauty is that manufacturing, when you have something that works, it's easy to replicate. We have 70 factories in the world. When you find that, for instance, we started to move to electric curation of tires, electric presses. They used to be gas or coal-based, and electricity is much better for the planet, but it's much better for the control. So you find that as soon as you switch to electric presses, you can improve the algorithms that control the temperature. You get better, you save energy, but you get also better characteristics of your tires. So I think here we have a beautiful garden to explore. I'm pretty sure that 3 years from now, I will tell you, oh, but we are saving. We are not only we're saving money, energy, but we are producing better tires, which hopefully I'm hoping to be able to say when I try to hire new people to join us. I said what we want to do as Michelin is really to have zero impact tires in 2050. So everything which is soft in the tire has to be biosourced and good for the environment. Everything which is heavy and strong has to be recycled. And it's a big feast of engineering, but we have the proper skills at Michelin. We are probably the best placed company in the world to invent those tires, and this is exciting.
Well, there you have it. The first of 3 segments that we'll have in this YouTube channel with Yves Caseau. And as you can see, he's a brilliant guy, and what he's doing at Michelin, what he's leading, is quite amazing. But as he noted, there's hundreds of people working directly with him, and they are empowering, yes, thousands of workers, tens of thousands of workers at Michelin to use AI tools to make even better tires. My sincere thanks to Yves for spending so much time with me to educate us all about how AI is improving the world of tire manufacturing and how Michelin aspires to do so in a sustainable way, and how AI is helping the company to achieve not only increased profitability, but increased sustainability as well. Thanks, Yves.